Welcome to After the Bell, the capitalists versus consumers daily market report. Here is everything that moved the market today. Monday, June 1st, 2026, the first trading day of June. A split session to open the month. Nvidia unveiled a new laptop chip and surged 6%. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq hit new records. But Qualcomm crashed nearly 10%. Oil bounced back on a weekend US-Iran military exchange. And Jamie Dimon warned the market may be dangerously exuberant. Let's get into it. This video is for educational purposes only and not financial advice. Please hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a daily report. The numbers at the close. Today was a split session that closed positive for technology. The S&P 500 gained 0.26% closing at a new record of 7,600, crossing 7,600 for the first time ever. The Nasdaq rose 0.42% to 27,086.81, another fresh all-time high. The Dow added just 46 points, or 0.09%, closing at 51,078. The Russell 2000 Small Cap Index fell 0.26%. The small cap underperformance continuing as elevated rates pressure smaller companies more than megacaps. Tech and energy were the only two S&P 500 sectors in positive territory today. Everything else fell. That concentration story we have been watching all year is as clear as ever today. The indexes are hitting records, while the majority of the market struggles. Nvidia unveils RTX Spark. Surges 6%. The dominant story today was Nvidia. At Computex 2026 in Taipei, CEO Jensen Huang unveiled the RTX Spark Superchip, a new processor specifically designed for personal computers and laptops. The chip brings AI capabilities directly to consumer devices, not just data centers. The market loved it. Nvidia surged 6.26% today, its biggest single-day gain in weeks, adding approximately $300 billion in market cap. D.A. Davidson added Nvidia to its best-of-breed top picks list this morning, calling it best-in-class margins with a durable competitive advantage and setting a $300 price target, implying 42% upside. The RTX Spark represents a significant expansion of Nvidia's addressable market. The company has been dominant in data center AI chips. Now it is bringing AI processing power to the hundreds of millions of personal computers sold every year. If the RTX Spark drives an AI-powered PC upgrade cycle, similar to how the internet drove PC upgrades in the late 1990s, the revenue upside is enormous. The Nvidia winners and losers. When Nvidia announces a new chip, the market immediately divides into winners and losers. Companies that benefit from Nvidia's ecosystem and companies that compete with it. Today's winners from the Nvidia announcement. ARM Holdings surged 14.5%. Nvidia used ARM's technology to develop the RTX Spark. Dell rose 8.62%, and HP gained over 3.5%. Both companies will manufacture computers featuring the new chip. ServiceNow jumped 890% on AI optimism. Today's losers from the Nvidia announcement. Qualcomm tumbled 9.5%. Qualcomm makes competing AI chips for personal computers, and the RTX Spark is a direct threat to its PC AI business. Intel fell more than 6.5% for the same reason. AMD dropped over 4%. When Nvidia expands into new markets, its competitors lose ground immediately. Oil bounces back. The Iran weekend update. Over the weekend, the US and Iran exchanged limited military strikes. The United States bombed radar and drone sites in Iran after Tehran shot down an American drone. Iran and the US exchanged fire, but the strikes were described as relatively limited and contained. Oil responded. Brent crude rose 4.17% to $95.29 per barrel. WTI rose back toward $94. The Iran deal optimism that sent oil crashing to $87 last week got partially reversed by the weekend's military exchange. Here is the key context. Despite the weekend escalation, oil is still well below the $107 peak from earlier this month. The market is interpreting the limited exchange as a controlled escalation rather than a full breakdown of peace talks. Secretary of State Rubio is reportedly still engaged with mediators. The ceasefire extension is reportedly still holding despite the strikes. The oil story remains the most important variable for inflation and the Federal Reserve's rate path. Every dollar oil moves affects millions of American households directly at the gas pump. Jamie Dimon's warning, JP Morgan CEO. Jamie Dimon made remarks at the Reagan National Economic Forum on May 29th that are worth amplifying today because the market has not fully priced them in. Dimon warned that risks in the stock market could be underpriced. He cautioned about an exuberant market amid geopolitical and macroeconomic uncertainty. Dimon has spent the better part of 2026 watching markets climb through the same risks he has been flagging: Iran war, elevated inflation, rising yields, slowing consumer spending among lower-income households. He is not predicting a crash. He is saying the market is not giving adequate weight to the downside scenarios. With the S&P 500 crossing 7,600 today, up over 20% from its March low in less than 3 months, Dimon's caution deserves acknowledgement. The market can be simultaneously right about AI earnings momentum and vulnerable to a sharp correction if any of the known risks materialize. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. Stay diversified. The SpaceX IPO roadshow begins. The SpaceX IPO roadshow officially kicks off this week, with Goldman Sachs leading the offering. The company is targeting a valuation in the $300 to $350 billion range. Starlink, the satellite internet division, is the primary revenue driver, with government launch contracts providing additional reliable income. This is the most anticipated IPO since Meta went public in 2012. Watch for institutional demand signals and any pricing updates throughout the week. We will cover the full IPO details as they develop. Kevin Warsh. 3 ways he could reshape the Fed. The Motley Fool published analysis today, outlining 3 specific ways Kevin Warsh aims to reshape the Federal Reserve, and noting they could all be negative for Wall Street. The 3 areas: reducing Fed communication and forward guidance, actively shrinking the balance sheet rather than passively running it off, and potentially raising the inflation target debate. Each of these creates uncertainty. Markets price uncertainty. Less Fed communication equals more volatility around every rate decision. As we covered in our Warsh short last week, watch the FOMC statement language, watch the balance sheet, and watch for any dissent votes. Those 3 signals will tell you more about Warsh's actual policy direction than any speech he gives. What to watch this week? The SpaceX IPO roadshow is the biggest market event of the week. Any pricing guidance or institutional demand signals move markets. Oil and Iran developments continue to be the most important daily variable. Any confirmed peace framework sends oil sharply lower and is massively positive for inflation and the Fed. The ISM Manufacturing Index releases tomorrow, giving a read on industrial activity heading into summer. The bottom line. Today, the S&P 500 crossed 7,600 for the first time ever. Nvidia unveiled a new chip that expands its addressable market dramatically. And the AI trade keeps finding new legs. But Dimon's warning is worth keeping in mind. Exuberant markets priced for perfection are vulnerable. The concentration risk is real. And the Iran situation just escalated over the weekend rather than resolving. Stay diversified, stay consistent, and watch the SpaceX IPO developments closely this week. That is your After the Bell for Monday, June 1st, 2026, here at Capitalists vs. Consumers. Please hit the like button and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you never miss our daily report or weekly breakdown every Friday after the close. We will see you at the closing bell tomorrow. Affiliate links. Small commission at no cost to you. Educational purposes only, not financial advice.